Hi, I'm Colin, and this is Sci-Fi Deep Dive. So on this channel I've talked about the Human Covenant War, but today I want to talk about how that war started and first contact between the humans and the Covenant. Just a quick rundown on what these two sides are. The Covenant are a group of alien races, all following one religion, and humans are humanity in the future. Specifically in this future, humanity occupies several star systems. They've built a small little space empire, if you will. So first contact takes place in early 2525, roughly 25 years before Halos 1, 2, and 3. And the first contact between humans and Covenant actually didn't involve any physical humans at all. It involved the unmanned cargo ship, the Horn of Plenty. The Horn of Plenty, while operating in deep space near Harvest, came into contact with a Jackal Privateer ship. The Horn of Plenty was unmanned, so there's no people on board, but the ship was still raided and all of its supplies taken. Shortly afterwards, the nearby also unmanned cargo ship, This End Up, was also raided by the same Jackal Privateering ship. Both of these disappearances didn't go unnoticed by the AI controlling shipping to and from the planet of Harvest. This AI quickly notified the Office of Naval Intelligence of the disappearance of these ships, and the Office of Naval Intelligence understandably assumed that these ships went missing due to the insurrectionists. Now, the insurrectionists are a group of resistance fighters operating in the fringes of human space who want independent states separate from the control of Earth. They would frequently carry out attacks that involved hijacking or commandeering civilian ships, so this wasn't out of the norm for them. To counter the threat of what they thought were these insurrectionists, they sent two Marines, one of whom was Sergeant Avery Johnson from the Halo games, onto the ship the Bulk Discount and sent it through the same patch of space. When the Bulk Discount was boarded by Jackals, they were faced with two armed UNSC Marines. The Marines were able to repel the Jackals and report back to the Office of Naval Intelligence that they had made contact with an intelligent alien species. I would like to point out at this point that up until this point in humanity's expansion into space, they hadn't come into contact with any other intelligent alien species. After the Office of Naval Intelligence was made aware that these attacks were not carried out by insurrectionists, but were actually humanity's first contact, they were quick to extend an olive branch and an apology. The Covenant agreed to meet with UNSC personnel on the planet of Harvest. However, they had ulterior motives. In scans, the Covenant had detected that Harvest was covered in Forerunner artifacts. Little did they know that artifacts that they were detecting were actually the people themselves. So a small contingent of Covenant forces were sent to the ground to make first contact with humanity. However, it didn't go so great when a trigger-happy grunt fired on a local militia member, and it broke down into a skirmish. The skirmish concluded with the Covenant forces retreating back to their ship and fleeing from Harvest. Reporting back to Covenant leadership that the relics that they had found were actually the people, Covenant leadership decided that this information posed an imminent threat to their religion. The decision was made then that the best course of action would be to declare war on humanity. So they did just that, using this small skirmish as a reason to declare war. With that official declaration of war from the Covenant, the Human Covenant War had officially begun. If you want to know more about the war itself, I did a video on the war itself last week, and I'll throw a link in one of the corners. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, or you just want more sci-fi discussions, head down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. Also, don't forget to like and leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of the way First Contact is handled in Halo. I actually really like it. It seems like an appropriate amount of time and events, but do you guys prefer it to be shorter, longer, or do you think it's just right the way it is? So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.